Okay, children, now we go over to the exercise part of your this chapter. This is chapter 1. This is the comprehension part. So answer the following questions. Answering the questions from the text, right? Who looked after Mary at her parents' home? Who looked after Mary at her parents' home? You read it. And can you recall that because her parents were busy all the time, they could not look after her, and most of the time, who looked after her? Her servants looked after her. So she was looked after by the servants, right? Now, next question is, why did Mary have to leave her parents' home? You remember what happened? There was a sudden disease, and both her parents died, and even the servants they ran away. So we can just say that because of the sudden death of her parents. Why did Mary have to leave her parents' home? Because of sudden death of her parents, right? This is the answer. And the next is, who was Mr. Archibald Caravan? He was her uncle who lived in Yorkshire. He was her uncle who lived in Yorkshire. And the next is, why wasn't Mary happy with the Misselthwaite Manor? Misselthwaite Manor was the place where she was living, where she had moved, and it was a new house. Why was she not happy with Misselthwaite Manor? She was unhappy because there was nobody to play with her at that place. She was unhappy because there was nobody to play with her at that place, right? So once the children they don't have anybody to play with, they get bored. So she was unhappy. So she was unhappy because there was nobody to play with her at that place. Now we'll go to the read the sentence, write true or false for write T for true or F for false in the boxes. Mary Lennox lived in a very big house with her parents. Yes, she lived in a very big house. Yes, this is true. So a servant found Mary all alone in her parents' house. No, the servants had ran away. When she woke up, there was nobody at the house, and the soldiers, there were two soldiers who came to her place and they found her. So this is false. Mary's uncle didn't meet Mary after her journey to England. Yes, he was not there, but his maid was there to meet her and to receive her, but his uncle was not there. So this is true, right? And Mrs. Medlock and Mary went to Yorkshire by bus. No, if you remember, they traveled by train, so this is false. Mary can only play inside the house. No, this was not the rule. The rule was that all those places which were locked, Mary was not supposed to open them, but she could play outside as well, right? So this is false. Now we go to the vocabulary part. In here, we'll match the words from 1 to 6 with their meanings given at A to F. Uh, First word is explore, then huge, difficult, terrible, bossy, and disease. And here, uh, illness, awful, always telling people what to do, very, very big, not easy, and F is to look around a place in order to learn more about it. First thing is explore. So explore means once you go to a new place, you want to know about that place. You go about and see you want to see all the things. So you move here and there. So the F will be the most appropriate word to look around a place in order to learn more about it. So to explore is to look around a place in order to learn more about it. So what will we write in this box? We write F. Then is the word huge. Huge means very big, right? So there is a word written here at D part that is very, very big. So we'll write here D, right? Then is difficult. Difficult is a thing which we can not do easily, right? So uh, there's a word written here at E that not easy. So we can say difficult means not easy. So we'll write here E. Terrible. Terrible means a thing which you did not expect, which did not expect, and which is very bad thing that happens, right? So there is a word awful written here. Awful also means that the thing that you don't like to happen, or the thing which you didn't like, right? So we'll write here B. And what is meant by bossy? Bossy is the man, bossy is the person who is in the habit of dictating others or telling others all the time that do this, do that, right? So here's a word written that here's a sentence written as at sea, that always telling people what to do. So we'll write here C, right? And at the sixth is disease. Disease is what? Disease is a sickness or illness, right? So we'll write here A. Okay. Now our question number 3 is complete. We go over to the next question. Complete the following sentences using the verbs in the box. Tina dash her baby sister when her mother was in hospital. Tina what? Lived, looked after, traveled, missed, and opened. Tina were her once her mother was there in the hospital. Her little sister must be with her. So what did Tina feel? Tina missed her baby sister when her mother was in the hospital, right? So next is my father dash in England for 6 months in 2010. Once you go there, what do you do there? You live there. So we will write here, my father lived in England for 6 months in 2010. John dash by plane once he visited the USA last year. Once you are going somewhere and you're going by plane, what are you doing? You are traveling. So you will write here, John traveled, right? This is the past tense, traveled by plane when he visited the USA last year. Then is the children dash the classroom door and ran into the corridor. The children what? Children lived, looked after, traveled, missed, opened. Yes, opened. We can write here opened, right? And what's next? That is Susan dash her friends when her family moved to Canada. Susan looked after her friends when her family moved to Canada. Okay, ji? Now there is a follow-up activity. We have to discuss that Mary is an old child. Do you have any brother or sisters, or you are an only child? What are the advantages and oblique disadvantages of having brothers and sisters? Right. So uh, I think that advantages of having brothers and sisters are as this. This is reply of my question, right? Yes, I have two sisters. It is good to have brother or sister because you can play with them, right? Yes, I have two sisters. It's good to have brothers or sisters because you can play with them. Okay. So the next question is that do you have a lot of people? Do you have do a lot of people have servants today? It is good for children to have other people helping them, or should they learn to do things themselves? Um, lot of people don't have servants today, so the children should learn themselves that how to work, right? So no, uh, people don't have many children these days. Children should learn to do things themselves. Okay. Okay, next is that Mary had to move house and go back to England. How do you think you would feel if this happened to you? Would you like to live in another country? Which one and why? First thing is that would you like to live some other country? If at all you want to live, then which one is going to be that country, and why you would like to live there? Uh, I personally feel that I can give you a guess, but you can have your own choice. That I think that no, I would not like to live in any other country. I like it here very much, right? So I like my country very much, so I would like to live in my country. So you could say that yes, you would like to move to any country you want, right? And then why you want to move to that country, you can say that, right? This is one suggestion. This is not must that you write this answer. You can have another answer also, right? The next is, why do you think that Mary cannot open locked doors or play in the corridor at Misselthwaite Manor, right? Because Mr. Caravan did not like it and it was a rule of the house, right? She was not allowed to do all these things because this was the rule of the house, right? Now we go to the next question, which is that it was a long journey to England for Mary. Imagine you are Mary. Write a page in your diary about what happened during the journey. And it should be at least 60 to 80 words. So I'll just give you a hint, or I'll just give you an example. You can write a page like this. It's not must that you write this. You can write a page like this. You can write anything in that. So what I have written is, I'll show you, but you should write in your own words if possible, right? Today was a sad day. I had to leave my house and travel to England. It was a long journey. The ship is not a pleasant way of traveling. I felt seasick and my stomach ached. I did not have anyone to talk to during my long journey. I could not eat because of nausea. Once I tried to eat but vomited what I had eaten, right? When I reached England, my uncle was not there to receive me. So these are a few words that I have written. You could write anything. You could imagine that you are Mary and you were traveling by a ship, and whatever you can imagine, you can write or your own words, right? This is just an example. Okay. Now with this we come to the end of the lecture. I hope you liked our lecture. अगर आप लोगों को पसंद आया है तो हमें you can subscribe us so that you can keep getting our assistance in solving and reading, right? If you like our videos, please press the subscribe and like button, and you must tell your friends also that if they want, they can get the help of our lectures at SESPARK. Okay? Allah Hafiz.